Thank you for coming with us on this journey to a golden future.
We pray that today's broadcast will help you in some way to find, fulfill, and finish God's will for your life.
Now we invite you to join us in the Golden State Baptist College radio studio.
Welcome back to another wonderful broadcast on A Golden Future. My name is Brother Simmons.
And I am Brother Fuller, and we are excited to be bringing you another wonderful episode of A Golden Future radio broadcast. Thanks for tuning in on KMVBC. Thanks for tuning in on Apple Podcasts. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Those of you that are watching our video podcast right here. So, Brother Simmons, why don't you give us a rundown of today?
Dude, I just called you dude. That's cool. Haven't done that yet live. But we're actually live. We're on YouTube. We've got video screen. We're both on the same side today.
Yeah.
Literally and metaphorically on the same side, rooting for each other. Hoping that God uses us in a great way on this broadcast. But we're on this side of the table together because today we are introducing to you the first time. He's been live in the audience before, but we have a guest with us, Brother Andrew Norman. Cheers.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the broadcast, Brother Norman.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Do you feel so excited, energized?
I do.
Privileged to be on this great radio broadcast.
I do. You know, we sit around campus and we just can't wait for the next episode to drop. You know, we're waiting for it, counting down. To be here is just a huge honor. Shout out everybody at college. I know you're listening to this. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm super excited. I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be on this.
Yes.
To be on this platform.
I think that's probably where a majority of our listeners come from. Probably is the college, and so it is a special shout out to all the GSBC students out there who are listening today. But let's get into some rapid fire random facts. Why don't we, Brother Simmons? Let me start out here. Did you know that cows have best friends? Do you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, cows have best friends. Studies show that cows form close bonds, and they get stressed when they're apart. Their heart rates rise. They moo more often. Basically, it's BFFs in the pasture, man. They moo more often. That's what the studies are showing.
No, they don't. They moo more often?
They moo. Really?
I thought you were going to compare our friendships to cows, and you were going to call me a heifer or something. No. All right.
That's what I thought that was.
Cows moo more often when they're away from their friends.
Yeah.
So they seek companionship. Wow.
Really?
So are cows going to become the new love animals? Want to be like cows? Exactly. I don't think my wife will go for that. That's probably your best rapid fire random fact.
Really?
I would think so. You've had some pretty bad ones. No. All right. Well, you said your first one was about an animal. Mine is, did you know that the CIA tried to weaponize cats? During the Cold War, the CIA launched Acoustic Kitty, a project to turn cats into spies by implanting listening devices on them. The first cat was released and immediately got hit by a taxi. So they canceled the program. It was terminated. It's a true thing, though. It's true.
Crazy.
Did you know that? No, you
didn't.
didn't. How did you know that?
I had the National Geographic Weird But True books as a kid, and it talked about that. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
That's got to be that's a missionary kid thing to say, I think. I don't mean that as an offensive thing. I just mean I never saw a National Geographic book growing up.
I was just homeschooled. I think that's what it was.
Oh, okay. It might be a homeschool. Anyway, rapid fire random fact number 2 or 3, I guess. The average student will spend 1,700 hours in school by graduation. That's 2 whole years of your life. That's interesting. I thought it was interesting.
Counting college or not counting college?
I actually did not look that up.
Really?
But I'm assuming it's not because it says doodling and wondering when the bell will ever ring. I'm guessing that's referring to high school.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would have thought that would have been a little bit more.
More than 1,700?
Yeah, because 2 years of your life, it seems like a lot, but I would have thought, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I would have even guessed, but that's pretty good to know. Sad that you waste 2 years of your life just literally in school. We should look up how much sleep you actually get during that time, too. All right. For my last fact, how to bring it back to food and, of course, to America. Did you guys know that the first food eaten on the moon was none other than bacon? Bacon cubes was the very first food eaten on the moon. NASA was like, we're going to send humans to space, so let's send bacon along with them in cube-sized bites. And that's the first thing they ever ate while they were on the moon. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Let's go.
All right.
Very good.
So we found something not in the National Geographic books. Let's go. Let's go. That's awesome. Well, we've already introduced our guest. He is a student here. And where are you from again?
I am from Illinois.
Illinois. For some reason, I was thinking Iowa, but I guess are they close? They're pretty close.
They are close. They're neighbors. Neighbor
Gotcha.
states.
Yeah. Would you say that the people in Iowa and Illinois are pretty similar? They're both like rural, or are they really not? There's a lot of differences.
Pretty much. Illinois is all rural except Chicago, and I'm not from Chicago. I'm from rural, so I would say Iowa and where I'm from in Illinois are pretty much the same thing. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Who is the arch enemies of people from Illinois?
I think for me, so I'm right outside of St. Louis.
Okay.
And I'm a Cubs fan, but I live so close to St. Louis that there's a lot of Cardinals fans. And
Okay.
That's one of the biggest rivalries. So I personally hate people from Missouri.
No, he does. He does not. Listeners, he does not hate you.
I don't hate. I don't
He loves you. God's gonna call you to that state, to that city.
I love them.
Watch.
I love them all, except when they're wearing red. Then they make me mad. But yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest rivalry.
Okay.
At least from down south in Illinois where I'm from. That's what I would say.
Well, Brother Norm, we brought you on. Obviously, he's a great man. We'll give a shout out to you. He's a great man in our college sophomore year. He's already a bus captain, serving in ministries on Roundup Sunday. His bus had the most on their bus, 66 or 67 riders.
66.
And we had a great day that weekend. And so he's been doing great things here. And he's also called to missions. And so really our theme for today, what it's centered around, is missionary centered. So we're going to ask you a couple of questions. Is that all right?
Yeah.
We have this brand new segment just for today, maybe only for today. Maybe we'll never bring it back again. But it's called When You Think Missions, You Think Boom. So we're going to ask you what you think is or are the top 5 places where missionaries go. Or when you're thinking of missions, where missionaries are called to, boom. You think of these 5 places. And obviously, we know this list because it was generated by our listeners, robinemery.com. It's a wonderful place where we get all of our true facts, no false narratives there.
Okay.
It's completely real. So we're going to see, you are going to guess what you think are the top 5. If you get 3 wrong, you're out. You lose the whole thing. But if you get it within 5, then you are set. You ready?
And these are countries.
These are countries.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. You ready? Brother Fuller, you ready?
Yep. All right. So you know the rules. You're going to guess, and we're going to tell you if this country that you're thinking of is on the list. Okay. So whenever you're ready, give it your first guess.
Okay, so my first guess would be Mexico.
Mexico is on the list.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's
1
go.
down,
Okay.
4 to go. Let's
Okay.
see how you got. When you think missions, you think
Uganda.
Uganda. We give it, right?
Yeah, I think we could.
Yeah. We had Africa as a whole.
I said countries. Come on, that's
Well,
a
I mean,
continent.
It is a continent.
Okay,
You're
okay,
right.
okay.
You're right.
South Africa.
I think we give it, right? We
Okay,
give it.
okay.
Okay.
Are
So
the rest countries though? The rest are like actual countries.
okay,
I
yes.
Okay,
So you got 2 down, 3 to go. No strikes.
Right.
no strikes.
When you think missions, you think.
China.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. All
Okay,
right,
okay.
okay. So now 3 down, only 2 to go.
Okay.
All right.
No strikes.
Oh, this is easy. I know exactly the next one.
Okay.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go, let's go.
Okay. So
Okay.
let's review. He's gone 4 for 4 right now. Give us the breakdown, Brother Simmons. What is he at?
All right. You have given us Africa. You said
Yeah,
Uganda, but
yeah.
obviously there. You've said China, which obviously everyone thinks of that. Mexico, crazy right now. Everyone's going there. And then you said the Philippines, or we also had Japan or Philippines. Maybe they were neighboring, so kind of close. Now this one, probably the hardest one on the list.
I'm gonna say, ooh.
Yep.
Hold up.
Yep.
It's coming to me. It's coming to me. I'm gonna say.
The fans are anticipating. They're listening. They're watching. Great intent. With you, they guess.
Cambodia.
Oh. Ooh, that's actually a good one.
Good guess.
Wow.
but that is not.
Should we give him a little hint?
Go ahead.
Okay. You have 4 right, 1 strike, 2 more strikes, and you're done.
Okay.
We're gonna say it's in the southern. Yeah, I was gonna say automatically, but we'll say
It's below North America.
It's below North America.
It's below North America.
Yeah, below North America.
And it's missions. Okay.
Yeah, I would say.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
No
okay.
way. Got
Okay,
it.
okay.
Wow. Give
Yeah.
it up for him, fans. It only took him 6 guesses, only 1 strike. He got the top 5. You can find that list on robinebony.com. It's a great factual list. But I'm actually surprised you got it right away.
Let's go.
Congratulations, Brother Norman. I was impressed. When you went Cambodia, I was a little worried. I was like, maybe we're not going to get it. Maybe we're not going to get it. But good. Congrats. Only 1 strike. I think that's the best we've had on something like that. We've done top 10 lists.
I'll take it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So congrats. And let's see. I think we've got about like 1 more segment today, and then we're gonna ask a couple questions. So I think you've got this one. Oh, okay. Here we go. We're gonna go into a bracket breakdown, Brother Andrew.
Oh, okay.
And it's gonna be a bracket breakdown of the best missionaries. And so you're going to have to go missionary versus missionary, and you can only advance 1, okay? So that's how it's going to work. And Brother Rob has the list, so you take it away. Let's do a bracket breakdown.
All right, let's see how well you know your missionaries. Maybe I gave some crazy ones that you won't know, but obviously pick it, and then this is going to be counted as your favorite missionary.
My favorite missionary
your
of all
favorite.
time. Okay.
Out of this list of 10, all right? So,
okay.
or actually 1, 2, out of 8. Yeah, so here we go. You'll get to the semifinals, then we'll see. It's getting playoff time for basketball, so are you ready?
All right.
All right, one of my favorites right off the bat, you've got Jim Elliott.
Oh, okay.
Great missionary, Aka Indians,
Yeah.
said he is no fool who gives for God. That great quote, right? So he's in the number 1 spot, and he's going against, let's see, I know you're going to like this one. Maybe I shouldn't have done this one. But actually, is it Brother Andrew, God's smuggler? So it's between those 2. They've got to advance.
Great name.
Great name. You actually just brought him up. We were just talking about him.
I did. I brought him up.
Jim Elliott or Brother Andrew, God's smuggler. If you can only pick one, pick one as your favorite to advance. Who would you pick?
I feel, these are two of the best.
I'm sorry. I knew I
okay,
should have mixed
okay.
it up a bit. I knew it.
I personally am gonna have to go with Brother Andrew.
Really?
Brother Andrew.
Whoa.
If you read his book, God's Smuggler, the stuff that he did was just crazy. Blows my mind.
I think the name.
And
I think it's just the name.
The name.
think it's
The
just
name
the
maybe
name.
pushed him over.
Just a little bit.
Got him over. You know.
All right, man. Jim Elliott, dude. I don't know if I could have
Jim
done
Elliott-
that.
Jim Elliott's in any other bracket. I probably would have
I
taken
probably should have switched
Brother
that one.
Jim.
I should have
But-
seen that one. My fault.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
all
okay.
right. So you picked Jim Elliott or you picked Brother Andrew. So now it is another hard one for me. This would be hard for me. Would you choose Hudson Taylor, China Inland Mission,
Yeah.
one of the greatest missionaries ever, or you've got literally runner-up Eric Liddell, bro, or Eric Little, depending on how you pronounce it. Do you know him?
A little bit.
He was a missionary, but he was this great runner, and so he actually ran in the Olympics. They made a movie about it, actually, called Chariots of Fire. Got that great soundtrack when you're running. You thinking of it in your head. But who would you pick? Hudson Taylor or Eric Little or Eric Liddell?
I am probably gonna have to go with Hudson Taylor.
Yeah.
I think of like how he blew open China for missions and just all that. To me, that's incredible. All that he did. So I'd have to go with Hudson Taylor. on that one.
Okay. All right. So we've got Hudson Taylor, Brother Andrew advancing. Now here we go. We've got another one. Either Adoniram Judson, the missionary to Burma, obviously famous, or one who's maybe not as well known, actually still here, or not still here, but he stayed here, but it was David Brainerd, the missionary to Indians again.
Okay.
So Adoniram Judson or David Brainerd. Both of them literally gave their all for Christ.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, man, Adoniram Judson had a rough way to go about it.
He
I feel
did?
like he had a rough life.
Uh-oh.
But, oh, man, David Brainerd.
That means I picked some good ones.
Yeah, these are good
all
ones, these are
right,
good
all
ones.
right.
I'm going to have to, oof.
Audience, you tune in.
I'm going to have
Say
to
who
go
you would
with,
pick.
Adoniram Judson on that
Okay,
one.
okay.
Adoniram
All right,
Judson,
classic, classic,
the
classic.
father of American missions.
There we go.
I'm gonna have to go with him on that one.
All right, last one. Here we go. Before we break it down, you've got two of the greatest missionaries ever. You got David Livingstone, that great missionary, bury my heart on the mission field, Lord, or William Carey.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I put two head to head.
Goodness.
Two great missionaries.
Okay, with this one, I'm also gonna be a little biased because I've been to Uganda.
Oh.
I've seen.
Did you see it?
I've seen where David Livingstone has
falls?
been,
Did you
the
see the
Rwenzori
falls?
Mountains.
Wow.
I have not seen the falls, but I've seen Lake Victoria.
Okay.
I've been there, and so what David Livingstone did was just
Okay.
crazy. So I'm gonna take.
All right, I can see that. All right.
Livingstone
I'll
on
give
that
you
one.
that one. All right, so now this is where it gets really tough.
This is gonna get hard.
Okay,
right
so
here.
would you choose Brother Andrew, God's smuggler, or Hudson Taylor?
Oh my goodness.
The winner of that will advance. The winner of that will advance. I think I did that bracket wrong, but it's okay. We'll do that all right. It'll be fine.
I feel like Hudson Taylor's the favorite in this one
Has to.
because he's so well known. But I'm gonna go with Brother Andrew.
What?
All the way. I'm gonna ride.
No
with Brother
way.
Andrew. I'm gonna ride with him.
Wow. I would have had to have said Hudson Taylor is probably one of the greatest missionaries I ever read about. But okay. I'll give you Brother Andrew. Great book. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, going up against Brother Andrew in the championship, you've got Adoniram Judson or David Livingstone. Which one are you choosing?
goodness.
Adoniram Judson or David Livingstone?
Ooh. Okay. For this, I'm gonna have to keep going with David Livingstone.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take him.
All right.
African missions all the way.
Tune in. Those of you who are watching, listening, who would you choose out of these two? But now, give it up. You ready?
Oh, my.
You would choose
Oh, my.
Brother Andrew, God Smuggler, or David Livingstone. So many great accomplishments, missionary, explorer, did all of these
Yeah.
things. Who would you choose?
Man. You know, Brother Andrew, in his book, he used to pray this prayer, the smuggler's prayer. He said, Lord, you made blind eyes to see, so I pray now that you would make seeing eyes blind. As he would go to the checkpoints and they would search his car and you would have Bibles and all. I love that.
That's
that.
That's a
prayer.
really good quote.
That's a super
I like that.
cool.
That's a good quote.
But ooh.
But it's a really good quote. But
Oh my. I'll probably have to go with David Livingstone on this one.
wow.
David
Okay.
Livingstone.
All right.
Great man.
David
And
Livingstone is a legend.
He is.
Wow. All right.
very
So
cool.
there it is,
So
folks.
yeah, best missionary. Now he's my favorite missionary ever. I just have to stay with that one.
I guess
for
so.
The rest of my life.
Yep. So now I'm glad we can help you figure that out. Now that you know, you got that settled. If you ever, when you're on deputation and people ask, "What's your
Yeah,
favorite
yeah.
missionary?" We got you. We helped you right
Yeah,
here figure it
okay.
out. So
Well, that's good. That's
But
awesome.
I think we're about to wrap it up. I think, but we want to at least want to ask you one question. And obviously, we know that you're called to missions, and we think it's a very noble work. But if you could just give us a little testimony, you don't have to go all the way back to your salvation testimony. You could keep it brief, but just about the call to missions, how God worked on your heart to where you saw that there was a need, and just tell us a little bit about how God worked that in your life.
So I, in February of 2023, I was able to go on a mission trip to Uganda. And so I was able to spend 2 weeks there with the censuses, Brother Matt for 1 week and Brother Keith for 1 week. And I'd been already called to preach, been called to the ministry, surrendered my life to that. And I was out of high school. I was hired on by my church as a staff member. I was helping with the song leading. I was helping run the bus ministry. We got a van. We started that up, and that's what I wanted to do. But I really had a heart for missions. I really wanted to know more about missions. I was, trying to learn as much as I can about missions and all that sort of stuff. And but I never felt called. And so then I was able to go to Uganda in February of 2023, and during that time, I was going to a Bible Institute close to home, so I was able to work at my own church, stay there. And so I was doing that, And I was loving it. But then I went to Uganda, and the Lord really just started breaking my heart for the mission field. And I was able to go up into the Rwenzori Mountains and see people that had literally only heard the gospel one time. Brother Matt had only been up there just once or twice before. Wow. And so I was able to see, and he said, there are mountains. That mountain over there has villages, and those people have never heard the gospel. And so I was so close to it. And so the Lord really burdened my heart for missions, especially pioneer missions work, taking the gospel to people who have never heard it before. But I never felt called. When I was called to preach or when I surrendered my life to ministry, it was so clear to me. I didn't want to at all. I had my own thing that I wanted to do, but it was at camp, and just instantly I knew that God was calling me. And so I was waiting for that type of call to missions. I thought, God, why aren't you calling me? Why am I, there? Right. And I was reading, and I came across 1 Timothy 3, verse 1. It says, if any man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. And I was praying, oh God, call me to be a missionary. Call me to be a missionary. Please call me to be a missionary. I want to be a missionary. I want to go on the mission field. But I wasn't feeling the call. And then when I read that verse, it's not really even about missions at all, but basically the thought was, and God spoke to me that way, if you desire the office, it's a good work. And so, through that, I thought, man, I desire it so much. It's a good work. And then, so I thought, man, Lord, if I want to be a missionary so bad, then, I'll just follow your leading, and I'll try to stay in your will and just follow the doors that you open. And I felt like he gave me peace about it, and I prayed about it. And so I just surrendered my life to missions. And then I was at the Institute, and so I decided to come out to Golden State Baptist College to get my missions degree. And awesome. We're 2 years in there, and so about halfway through now.
Nice. Hey, that's awesome. Just having that desire in your heart, and then it's great that God kind of gave you the confirmation or the peace about it, saying, just go for it. I put that desire in your heart, and go run with that. That's really cool. Yeah. And I have many more questions that I'd like to ask about before that and after that, but I think we do have to kind of wrap things up today. So is there any kind of sign off, anything that you want to say, anything for the listeners? And then I'll turn it over to Brother Simmons to sign us off.
I would just say, if you guys are watching on the cameras, both Brother Rob and Brother Emery are way shorter than they look on camera.
Wow.
Other than that, they're great guys. Little guys.
We can cut that part. We'll cut that out from this one, right?
Hey, little guys, big heart. I love both of them.
Hey, there we go. I like that, actually. Praise the Lord. Well, Brother Norman, we've enjoyed having you here on the broadcast, and thank you really just for giving your heart. And to all your listeners out there, we hope it was a help to you. And we can't wait to hear from you next week. Tune in right about this. Hopefully you give it 5 stars, but not for that last comment. But remember that doing God's will today leads to God's will tomorrow. Thank you for listening to a Golden Future radio broadcast.
If you'd like to listen to our other episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
Also, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at agoldenfuture@gsbc.edu.
And tune in next week to the broadcast dedicated to help this generation discover God's purpose for their lives.